Hello everyone, and welcome to Dice Fable, where we use dice to bring stories to life. So on this video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to create the sector for our Starforged game, Riding Hood and the Cradle, which you may have seen a trailer for before. Now, if you're here, you probably already know what Starforged is, but in case you're, here for the first time, Starforged is a tabletop RPG, just like all the others. Dungeons & Dragons, Savage Worlds, Blaze in the Dark, Dungeon World, Apocalypse World, stuff like that. But it's specially designed so that you can actually play it by yourself. You can play it with other players as well, with a guide and without a game master. But I like it because you can play by yourself and sort of tell a story. And if you're familiar with Ironsworn, Starforged is Ironsworn, but, in science fiction. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the truths that I've already done beforehand for the universe. And most of it, I do encourage you to go and look up the trailer that I made, because that's sort of all of this information that I'm going to share with you compressed. But I thought it'd be nice to just, sort of be with you and roll up the sector and everything together. So let's do that. So the premise of Starforged generally is it's kind of we're in a universe that is a bit Firefly-esque, Battlestar Galactica-esque, Mandalorian. So yes, so here this is the rule book. So let's see. This is a perilous future, lonely future, diverse future, far-flung future, unexplored future, wondrous future, retro future, unjust future, and a hopeful future. Hopeful is very important to me when I'm playing in like dystopian stuff. I like the idea that there is some kind of, positive hope. That's why I'm not really a fan of grim dark stuff, because I like my apocalypse stories to have, the hope that things are getting better. Yeah, so Starforged is kind of based on, the Mandalorian, a Firefly, Battlestar Galactica. It's that kind of sci-fi. We're going to be someone who is exploring, and we'll be taking on these quests called vows that we have to complete and try and, complete our overall goal. But we'll get into that when we make Elise Haldeman Riding Hood herself. But let me just share with you the truths that... So in Starforged, prep is play, and what you do beforehand is, because this is your universe, you can make Starforged be whatever, type of universe you want. You could have more magic in it, you could have no magic in it, you could have, lots of wars, or you could have, lots of peace, you could have lots of nations, or it can be a gritty, every man has his own ship and is in it for himself. So here are mine. So for the Cataclysm, I said that we escaped the ravages of a catastrophic war, and essentially what happened was, this is kind of going to be a sort of, I'm not entirely sure what the genre would be. It's kind of a post-fairy tale, cyberpunk, sci-fi, fantasy, dystopia kind of thing. But I guess I'll go with post-fairy tale, because I like the word post-fairy tale. There's a lot of text here. I suggest to speed this up, just watch the trailer. I'll sort of put it around here. It'll be on my channel somewhere, and that's where I sort of summarize everything I put here. But yeah, I'll scroll through it, just so if you want to pause and read it, you can. Also make it bigger. But yeah, this is in Starforged, we say that prep is play, so this is actually kind of fun to do. It's not, it's not boring. It's part of the experience. And if you're playing with a group, it's kind of cool to be like, what do you think magic is like in this setting? And then go on what do you think communications and data is like in this setting? And just sort of, do that. But yeah, so those are the truths. So that being said, let's create the sector. Now, let's see, yeah, and the basic premise of the game I want to play is I wanted something a little bit different to maybe all of the other Starforged campaigns out there and the ones I've played. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a fairy tale character, Red Riding Hood, a sticker in the forge, and we'll see how that story goes. So our main character is Elise Riding Hood Holderman. Here she is. And this art, by the way, is just incredible, and it was made by someone called Roka on Fiverr, and I'll put a link to them in the description. But yeah, I was really blown away when they came back with this, because it looks like a Starforged character. It just fits incredibly well. So anyway, yes, we're going to be telling the story of Red Riding Hood in Starforged, in the Cradle, and we'll sort of see what adventures come up along the way. I don't know the story. I don't know what the story is going to be. I don't know, I think in the trailer I said that we're up against Jebediah Wolf, who's the leader of Half Moon Industries, but I don't know his motivations. I don't know why he's doing what he's going to do. That's just something that I don't even know if we're actually even going to face him, but that's just something that we're going to explore together through play. So let's get the sector creation up. So give me a second just to get the sector creation rules up. This rulebook, by the way, is incredible. Like, look at the art. It's just incredible. Like, I opened this rulebook and I was instantly in love with everything. So yeah, as you can see, this is where you choose your truths, and it's quite a long section. It's a fun section, but a long section, which is why I did it before. I didn't want you to watch me ponder over every little thing in that section. But the sector creation is faster. We can do the sector creation. Okay, so what we need, a sector worksheet and a connections worksheet. We're using Roll20, so we're fine in that regards. So a sector is a settled or explored area of space. In the fiction of your setting, sectors are named by the people who forge a common means. Okay. So now we have to choose our starting region. So again, it says the forge here. We're not in the forge, we're in the cradle, but we're still going to use the regions here. So we have the terminus, which is where settlements are, which is sort of the main place people live. Lots of settlements, lots of people. It's where the corporations mainly are. It's where Princess Emily is ruling from. Then we have the outlands. So this region represents an area of recent expansion. Settlements here are scattered, and navigational paths are often uncharted and perilous. The expanse. Only a few bold pioneers have delved these far-flung reaches. And void, yeah, nothing there. So what we're going to do is we're going to be in the expanse, and the reason for that is because our family, the Holdermans, we are independent. We're an independent we're one of these independent miners, traders families on the outskirts of the Cradle, and and corporations and stuff want to take our stuff, and our grandmother, because this is a Red Riding Hood story, so there has to be a grandmother, went to the terminus to sort of set up an organization to lobby for independent traders, independent miners' rights. So she's in the terminus being a lobbyist, while we're in the expanse, and we're essentially going to have to try and get to her from the expanse through the outlands to the terminus. So I want us to start in the expanse at our home, so that's where we're going to be. So let's carry on here. A settlement is a location populated by other humans. Settlements can be planet-side habitats, orbital stations, or deep space facilities. Alright, so in the expanse we have two settlements. This isn't a standard, it's kind of a guide of how many settlements are going to be in our sector. Our sector, by the way, is it's going to be, because it's a place with independent miners and traders, it's going to be mainly asteroid fields and things of that nature. And our sector is called Rosalind's Hideout. And why is it called Rosalind's Hideout? I have no idea. I liked the name Rosalind's Hideout because it just came to me. And yeah, presumably someone called Rosalind hid out here at some point among the asteroids. But as to why exactly that is, maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't. That's the beauty of Starforged. Okay, so two settlements. So the first thing I have to decide really is whether I want to, because we're going to start this story with our home like station, with maybe just a few other families on it being destroyed. So I have to decide whether I want that to be included in the settlement stuff, or whether I want it to be something else. I will. You know what? I won't include it, or will I? Why don't we ask the Oracle? Yeah, why don't we ask the Oracle? Because we may as well get used to doing that. So let's see. Here's the Oracle, and the Oracle is just you give a the Oracle is just you know, you say how likely something is, and it gives you an answer, like yes or no. So let's ask it actually, is Riding Hood's home one of the 2 settlements in the sector? I'm gonna say it's likely. So let's see what happens there. Let me stick this on dark mode. Oh, actually, no, let's not stick this on dark mode just yet, because that looked terrible. But let's see. Yes, it is. All right, that's good. So let me just nab. I don't actually have a token. These tokens, by the way, they're all in the backers kit for backing Starforged in the Kickstarter. So I don't actually have a thing for a station, I don't believe, which is a bit odd. So for now I'll just use this to keep 6. So let me put something here. So this is going to be I'll find a station token if I can at some point later on, but for now I'll just stick her here to sort of be like this is her home, and we'll just call this MS 1999, mining station 1999, because 1999 is the year I was born, and that's all I'm going to go with. Okay, and we're going to stick you. Let's stick you over here. Okay, good. I wonder if I can actually. Yeah, let's stick you there. Okay, good. So that's easy, because I already know what that station kind of is, so I don't have to roll anything for it. It's just our home. So the next thing we have to do is, let's see, generate settlement details. Put a marker on this page so you can come back to it, then jump to the settlement oracle starting on page 322. For each of the settlements in your starting sector, roll on the following tables. Settlement name. Okay, let's do... I have the oracles in roll 20, so I don't actually have to do that. So let's go back here, and let's go to my journals. And let's add a handout under sector Rosalind's hideout, and we'll call this, let's see here. Name, I'll leave blank for now. So name, then we have, let's see, location. So let's roll on the table here and see what we get there. So let's go to Elise Haldeman. Let's go to the oracles. Let's see if we have a settlement oracle here. We do, yes. So what were we rolling first? We were rolling location. So let's roll and see. These are the options, by the way. Planet-side orbital, deep space. We have a deep space. So it's a deep space station, which is kind of cool. So let's see, which is kind of cool. So let me make a note of that here. So the location is deep space, which kind of makes sense. There probably aren't too many planets here, but we, in this asteroid field, probably mining stations and things like that. But let's see. So that's interesting. Let's have a look at its population now. So here are the options here. We have few, dozens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. Let's have a roll there. Oh yes, and it also depends on where we are. So we're in the expanse, which means there's going to be there's a higher chance that there'll be less people. So let's go with the expanse and roll that. And there are hundreds of people. Deep space, population is hundreds. Population is hundreds. Okay, and I'll just save that so I don't lose it. But yep, let's carry on. Okay, so the next one is, let's see here. The next one is authority. Now this could be interesting. Authority. So we have, lawless, ineffectual, tolerant, fair, unyielding, corrupt, and oppressive. Let's have a roll here and see what we have tolerant. Okay, so they're just normal, I guess. None, lawless, ineffectual, tolerant, fair, unyielding, corrupt, oppressive. Okay, they're all right to outsiders, which is interesting. So we're not an insular. We're not an insular group. Well, we may be an insular group, but this particular settlement is not an insular kind of group. I'm just going through all of my tabs here. Apologies for that. Let's see here. So we have authority. Tolerant. Okay. Let's see. Now we have settlement projects. Roll 1 to 2 times. Settlement projects, roll 1 to 2 times. So let's see. I will upload the first episode of the actual gameplay as well, but I just thought in case someone wants to watch how I made the sector, this could be interesting for them. I don't know. Maybe you like listening to my voice. But let's see here. Settlement project. Let's see. Settlement project. So this is going to tell us what the settlement actually does. I mean, I already have an idea of what this sector does, so I'm not sure if I want. We'll roll, because the good thing about Starforged is that if I roll something on the Oracle, I don't have to take it. The Oracles are just for inspiration. They're not meant to be like a prison for you to just be stuck with that outcome. They're just to help give you ideas. So let's roll once and see what we get. So we got hunting. Okay, that's interesting. Let's roll the other one. Hunting and agriculture. Ooh, okay. Okay, it's a interesting. Hunting and agriculture. It's a farm place. It's a farm station. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool actually, because it makes sense, because in the expanse where we are, our small stations may not have. There's not the ability to have lots of food, so we may have a larger station where the miners all come back to like collect the food and then go back to their families. So that's quite interesting, actually. So let's yeah, that's quite interesting. So let's see what else we have to do. So don't roll on the other tables. We can reveal other aspects when you visit and interact with them. Generate planets. If any of your settlements are located on a planet or in orbit around a planet, we don't have to do that because this is a deep space station, so we can actually ignore all of this, which is, I guess, kind of cool. Alright, so we have our sector map, which I've already done. And this art is just amazing. Passages. Oh, let's actually name this place. I'm not gonna. Well, maybe I will use the settlement name here. I was going to not use a settlement name because what I found is eventually all the names that are going to sound similar in every Starforged playthrough you do, or thing you read. So I was thinking of adding some variety by using a different name generator, but for this one I will use a settlement name. So let's see what it comes up with. And that's where they all are. So Janus. Janus. Okay, Janus. All right. And you know what? For some variety, we'll call it Janus's. Actually, I don't really like the name Janus. Let's call it. Let's call it. Let me just roll again and see what else we get. Crux. No, I like Janus, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to Jane, and we're going to call it Jane's Farm. Jane's Farm, a deep space station with hundreds of people, tolerant, who are, doing hunting and agriculture. So this is Jane's Farm. Yeah, Dice Fable, thank you. So this is going to be Jane's Farm. And I like that, because I had no idea what the other settlement was going to be, but now I know it's a farm that supplies food. That's what I love about this game. Things just come together, and it ends up that way. So we have Jane's Farm, probably run. I'm not sure if it's run by. Oh, wouldn't it be interesting if it was run by like I don't know, an AI called Jane or VI? Well, actually, I don't think there is AI in this setting. Let me just have a look. Your truths. AI, what did I put for AI? Many VI for assistance and truly sapient AI is one of. Okay, maybe it's just a VI, helpful VI called Jane, or maybe there's a robot called Jane or something like that, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's Jane's Farm. Now I have to stick it. I have to stick it here somewhere. I'll just roll a d6, and well, I'll roll a d6. I'll roll a d6 plus 3, and that'll tell us how. Yeah. So that's 5 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Jane's Farm will just stick over here. And can I add a name for you? No, I cannot. Okay. Alright, I'll just add. 1 second. I'm going to have to find some actual space station. I have lots of planet tokens, but I don't have any station tokens. So now I'll just grab you again, I think, and let's see, copy and paste. Thank you. And you were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're there, and I'll call you Jane's Farm. Jane's Farm. Do I want to call it Jane's Farm? Or do I want to call it Jane's Farming Station? It might be called Jane's Farming Station, but to be honest, I think in our sector map we've renamed it to Jane's Farm because everyone calls it Jane's Farm around these parts. So yeah, that will do. I don't think it's too far away. So let's go to the next stage now, which is a passage. Next, you'll set the passages for this sector. A passage is a charted route among the drifts. Spaces rely on these routes for travel and trade. Okay, so a passage is what lets us. So when you're traveling, you have to do something called undertaking a perilous journey, which is a series of rolls to make sure that you can actually get to where you want to go. But if there's a passage, it means that it's a well-charted route, and so there's less chance of things going really wrong when you get to the passage. So let's see. So the Expanse only has one passage. So draw the passages, align them out. Each passage must do one of two things. Connect two settlements, or connect to a settlement to the edge of your sector map, leading to another sector. Okay, so that's interesting because we're in the Expanse, so there's only one passage. So it could either connect these, or it could connect. I think it would make sense for the passage to connect Jane's Farm to another sector, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to the map and background layer, and I'm going to go to polygon, and I'm going to change the color to. What am I going to change the color to? Let's change the color to. Let's see, orange. And so let's mark the the path out of, let's see. Actually, you know what? Sorry, I'm gonna drag Jane's farm to the other side. Just because I'm, let's see. I'm gonna drag Jane's farm to the other side here. Just because I want to write some stuff under here, I think. So I'm going to drag Jane's farm there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the sector path here. So here is that's the wrong color. So let's make it a bit zigzaggy and a bit sci-fi-ish, shall we? So okay, so that is the path to another sector. Okay, let's go back to the objects and tokens layer. So we have MS 1999, which is our home, and we have Jane's farm, which is the deep space station with hundreds of people on it, where we get our food from, and there's a passage there that leads us to another sector, which probably goes to the Outlands or another Expanse sector, I don't know yet. So let's see here. Zoom in on a settlement. It'll be helpful to have some additional detail for one of the settlements in your starting sector. You might begin the campaign in the midst of a layover or just arriving there as your story opens. Then return to the settlement oracle starting on page 302 and roll in the following tables: First Look or Settlement Trouble. Let's see. First Look. Well, I mean, I already know what's happening on MS99, which is where we're going to start. What's happening there is where Half Moon Industries have attacked us. So let's have a look at Jane's farm and add some more details to Jane's farm instead. So let me open the oracles here again. I like that Roll20 makes this a lot easier than flipping through and back through the PDF. I don't mind flipping through and back through a book, but a PDF is slightly annoying. So let's have a look at First Look. Did it say? First Look. First Look. All right. So our first look of it is, oh, a descriptor and focus. Interesting. So that's another table. So that's here at the core table. So our first look is there's a prominent dimension. A prominent dimension. Not sure what that one means, which is why I can, and that's why Starforged has this thing where if you're not sure what an oracle means, you can just ignore it and carry on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll the focus again, because I like the word prominent. I want to know there's a prominent resource. Okay. So let's add that Jane's farm has a prominent resource. And you know what that prominent resource is? Food. It has food. So let's prominent resource. Let's just put food because that just makes sense. And settlement trouble. And so settlement trouble. This is just be some settlement trouble is going to be something that's an issue that's going to be there if we get there, because there's a chance we probably will get there, but there's a chance we could just die horribly earlier on. A small chance, don't worry. I'm nicer on myself than most people are, so we're probably gonna not. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the rolls go. We'll see what the rolls do, rather. All right. Let's see. What was I looking for? I was looking for settlement trouble. That's what I was looking for. Settlement trouble. Okay, so settlement trouble is stolen technology or object. What is it? No idea. Will we ever deal with it? No idea. But that is fine. It's just something that is useful for us to just know, really. So there's a problem there. There's a problem there that I'm still in awe about the fact that it all worked so well to create deep space station's a farm that like feeds us, because there's not many worlds out here probably. So settlement trouble is stolen technology. Come on, Glenn, it's literally right there in front of you. Stolen technology or object. Okay, so that's Jane's farm, and now we're on to the next thing. So luckily there's no planets for us to do. So the next thing is create a local connection. A connection represents an important relationship with a non-player character. For now, you have a single connection in the starting sector. You almost certainly know other people. Okay. Take a look at the Make a Connection move, which is shown below. Instead of slowing, seem an automatic strong hit. Let's see, you create a connection, give them a roll at a rank, whatever your connection is. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. Connections are not shipmates or companions, independent characters who might occasionally intersect with your own. You might accompany the connection with a specific mission, where you soon part ways, your duty and ambitions take you on separate paths. Can be inspired by a character's background and recent history. Specific and nuanced. Okay. Right, let's see. Okay, I have an idea, because I have an idea for a connection. It's going to be someone on Jane's farm, because obviously Elise Haldeman, we go there very often, and it's probably likely that we make friends and things like that. There might not be that many other people our own age, actually. Yeah, out here. So there's probably a friend we have on Jane's farm. I was considering, bringing in the woodsman from the story, but considering he comes in much later in the story, I didn't really want to start with him now. I wanted to, maybe bring in a new character that isn't in the Red Riding Hood story, because we already have the big bad wolf, Jebediah Wolf, we have Red Riding Hood, we have Grandma, we have the mother. So yeah, let's add a new character to this story. So let me go back to the Oracle here, and let me see. So, what did it say to roll on? It said we could do this randomly, but I do have an idea, but I just want to see how random it is. It was let's see. Character roll. Okay, that's down here. Character roll is down here. I might not go with this, I just want to know what it says. Hunter! Okay, so let's see. Hunter. The obvious one is farmer, but the obvious one is obviously farmer, but hunter, farmer. Okay, let's go to Elise Riding Hood. Let's go to connections here. And then let's add a connection. We have the detail in there. So their name is going to be, we'll do that later. Their location is going to be Jane's farm. I think they are going to be hunting, and so I think maybe it's a farm, but they also go out and hunt maybe space fauna. Yeah, space creatures as well, and do that kind of thing as well for like food. It's just a general food place. So I think our connection is one of those hunters, like, well, not hunter, maybe, let's see. Maybe we'll give them their role. We'll say that their role is space creature butcher. You know what? Forget the hunting thing. We're just gonna say she's a farm girl. Why not? We're just gonna say she's a farm girl and make it super easy on ourselves. So let's see. Because farm girl could also be, animals and livestock and things like that, so that's what we're going to do. So farm girl, okay, that's her role. So now, choose a rank appropriate to the role and the level of involvement you want them to have in your story. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, that's actually an important point. The these ranks are going to be how difficult it is for us to like actually make a bond with them. So it's going to actually be, then it's not necessarily how dangerous they are as a person. It's how dangerous us knowing them and wanting to help them is to kind of us. So the higher this is, the more work we have to do to make them our like friend, and so the more dangerous it is because we'll be getting involved in lots of escapades with them in the future. But yeah, I'm just gonna put I really do troublesome stuff generally because I don't know. It happens a bit too quickly, but I'm going to put dangerous. I'm going to say that, she's like a friend of ours, and so we do care about her somewhat, so we're not just going to be troublesome and be like, oh, thank you, thanks for doing the collection quest for me, I'm your friend now. It's going to take a bit more work. Alright, so let's see. You can simply envision what you know of this person or roll the following character oracle tables. First look. Okay, cool. So roll this farm girl. Let's have a look at her first look, which we can do on the oracles here. First look, let's see, this is our friend, a farm girl who we know on the station. Maybe she's even maybe she's actually the daughter of Jane herself. Wouldn't that be interesting? But let's have a first look here. So she's wounded and poised. Wounded and poised. Let's see, let me just look up what poised means. I know what it kind of means, but I just want to double check what it means. Composed and self-assured, a composed and self-assured manner, graceful and elegant bearing. Okay, so she's wounded, but she's like, it was nothing, it's fine. So she's wounded and poised. Wounded and poised. Let's see. I'm gonna say she only has one eye because an animal took it out. See, she only has one eye because an animal took it out, and she decided not to get an augment. She decided not to get an augment, just wear a cool eye patch, which tells us a lot about her as a person as well. That she's like, I'm gonna, only have one eye, so I'm gonna keep it and look cool. I'm not gonna get rid of it. Poised. So let's have a look what the next one is. Character goal. Now, usually I don't think I roll these often, but because she is our friend, I think we would know what she kind of wants. So let's have a roll on the character goal table and see what happens there. She wants to seize power. Oh man, okay. Okay, she wants to seize power. Alright. I mean, that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, I don't know. That could be a good thing. I think one of our character traits as Red Riding Hood is slightly rebellious, so maybe that goes into it. But yeah, she wants to seize power. Now let me roll on the action theme table just to give me an idea of what kind of power seizing this might be. Transform family, okay. I'll think on that later on, but he wants to seize power to transform some family, okay. Alright, seize power for the family. Alright, what comes next? I love this game so much. Sorry, I love this game so much. Right. Reveal character aspect. Let's have a look for that one. Oh, that one can actually go in here, I think, actually. Descriptors. But let's go back to the oracles. Let's go down to character aspect. Sorry, but let's go down to character aspect and see what happens. Let's see, character aspect. We'll get two of these. She's tolerant and stingy. Okay. Okay, she's tolerant and stingy. Tolerant, stingy, wounded, poised. Seize power. Riding Hood, Elise, are you sure this is someone you want as your friend? I feel like she's going to get you in trouble. Right, see. Maybe she's the only person Riding Hood's age on the station. I've aged Riding Hood up a bit. She's more like 17 to 19, kind of young YA kind of genre age. Because I don't think it's that appropriate to have like a 10-year-old running around blasting people in the face. But, you know, yeah, we're on YA age. Right, so let's see. Choose the connections home. Jane's Farm. Give the connection a name. Right, let's see. Character name. Let's see what her name is, shall we? So her given name is Alexis. Let's see. Alexis Ike. Cassidy. I like Cassidy. Let's go with Cassidy. Let's see. Let's go with. So her name is Cassidy. Well, we probably just call her Cass, to be honest, but her name's probably Cassidy. So let's go to call sign. I'll put that there. Her name is Cassidy, but we call her Cass. Because why would we say her full name? Right. Her family name is Cassidy Vayan. Cass Vayan. Okay. And let's see a call sign. The Starforged people have call signs some nicknames that they prefer to use instead of their actual name sometimes. Her call sign is Phoenix. Why did she get the cool call sign? Okay. Well, actually, I really should. I should actually. I don't think that's going to be her call sign, to be honest, because I think her call sign is going to be. Maybe she doesn't have one. I don't think she. Well, I feel like her call sign has to be something to do with her eye patch, but maybe she just doesn't have one. Maybe she'll come up with one later. Let's go with that, because Phoenix I don't think fits her. Seize power, wounded, poised, wounded. I'll have to come up with an animal. I'll have to come up with an animal that is like wounded, but still confident, and that will probably be her call sign. Introduce a sector trouble. We don't have to do that. We're going to go with this first one. Blockade. Half Moon Industries have placed a blockade on this system. So let's go here. Let's go to green. Let's go here. Let's go. Let's go. Population is maybe 200. And population is 200. And let's add another one, and we'll call this Emergency Travel Advisory. Emergency Travel Advisory. Emergency Travel Advisory. Half Moon Industries. Half Moon Industries blockade. Industries blockade. Avoid travel. Avoid travel. So that's going to be the sector trouble. Population 200, emergency travel advisory, Half Moon Industries, blockade, avoid travel. Alright, so that's good. And I think that is the end. Yep, name the sector, controlling power. It's not really a controlling power. And yes, so that is the sector for our Starforged game, Rosalind's Hideout. So yeah, I can imagine that it may have not been that interesting to watch because it was mainly me rolling things and deciding things and things like that. But I hope you've seen the process that you kind of have to go through if you're going to get Starforged to sort of generate your starting sector. And I personally, I love this exercise. I just love how the roles just all come together and you end up with something like, Jane's Farm, which is, we had nothing, and now we have a deep space station that produces food for for the miners in these areas, because they don't have that much food themselves. And on that station is our friend Cass, who has one eye and is self-assured and confident, and wants to seize power because she wants to improve the life of her family, I guess. We'll see how that impacts things coming on. So thank you for watching. In the next episode, we'll delve further into Elise Haldeman Riding Hood herself, and probably create her as a character. So that should also be kind of fun. So I'll hope I will see you there. Thank you for watching.